Hey everyone, guess what? We've made it through this year. Today is our last reset for 2018 and let's reset. It's Monday, December 31st, 2018. Let's go. When people don't take time to break from everyday routines to evaluate their process, what it does is that it limits or it stunts the ability for there to be new patterns for growth. And that is one thing that I look back over this year. And besides the fact that I look back over this year and see how hot these lights are, but I look back over this year and I recognize and I remember the fact that I believe that sometimes you got to fight till you cannot fight anymore, that you have to lay down and bleed a while and then get back up and fight some more. And that was me this year, that I've gone through things, some known, many unknown, most unknown. I remember there was a blood relative who said, "You're so private." Well, it has nothing to do with my position, and a lot of people say, okay, well, you're in pastoral leadership, so you have to be private. No, it has mostly everything to do with protecting my heart, that I've learned to live a quiet life, and I enjoy it. But I've gone through things that have been unknown, that only a couple people know, and that's okay. I've had to take time for me. I had to fight till I couldn't fight anymore. I had to lay down and bleed a while. And that was me this year. This was me chilling. This whole year, it was for the most part, I backed off of a lot of things that I did before. I took a step back and I just had to evaluate my process. That is laying down and bleeding for a while. We're not just going to sit here to do nothing. Remember those lepers that sat outside of the city gate and they said, why sit here until we die? We've got to do something, and that was me. That I was, while I was sitting there, I was doing something, and that something was processing. That I was processing the why behind my what, so that my what and my how could get better. I was practicing the pause, and in the midst of failure, loss, defeat, difficulty, I picked up the lessons. I picked up the treasures. That where you stumble, there your treasure lies. So don't get up, don't move on, don't get back up and fight some more without picking up the treasures. So I had to pick up some treasures, I had to process, I had to just sit, I just had to be. With that, you fall into the danger zone of getting stuck there. If you do not handle the place of obscurity the right way, you run the risk of getting stuck there. And that's why so many times you hear about people who were doing so many great things and they were on fire and they were moving forward and they were growing, they were being innovative, they were doing so much, then all of a sudden they disappeared. Well, perhaps because God called them to be in a place of obscurity for a season, but they got stuck there. Some may have liked it a little too much. Then they forgot about what they were called to do. Some may have just gotten stuck there in depression and anxiety and stress. That wasn't my case. I knew what it was going into this season, that this was a time of just obscurity, so that God could teach me, so that God could stretch me, so that God could show me things and allow me to go to the root of some things and not just brush by them. The danger, of course, again, of being in that place of obscurity and having that downtime where you're going to lay down and bleed a while, is that oftentimes people around you get used to it. They get used to you being available. They get used to you not doing a lot. They get used to your place of obscurity, and they forget that this is just seasonal and that you're going to have to get back up and fight some more. You know, and I've been one of those that have handled a place of obscurity the right way. So with that, I gotta have some tough conversations, and I've had to have some tough conversations with people. You know, people will always think that it has something to do with them. No, everything ain't about you. It's about what God called me to do in this season, and in this season, He called me to chill. He called me to practice the pause. He called me to evaluate my process. But I'm not getting stuck here. I've evaluated, and now God said, do it again. So now God said, get back up and fight some more. You fought till you couldn't fight anymore. You lay down and bled a while. You evaluated your process. Now get back up and fight some more. So I don't like to use the word busy. If anybody knows me, they know don't call me busy, because it puts a pressure on me, and I'm like, no, because then when I really don't have anything to do, then it puts the anxiety on me, like, well, should I have something to do? No, I have a lot going on. That is what I say. I have a lot going on, but I manage my time very well. Somebody asked me the question today, and they said, you seem like, you say that you're entering into your hectic season, or there's a lot going on. It seems like you don't ever stop, and that's your life. And I said, that is not true. That is not true at all. I pause. Whenever I get sleepy, I take a nap. If I don't feel like doing something, I don't do it. If I don't feel like going somewhere, I don't go. I leave a lot of time for eating, clearly, cooking, drinking coffee, watching Netflix, staring at the trees, and sleeping again. Yeah, I leave a lot of time for that. So I just manage my time very well. I'm very intentional with how I spend my time, but I'm grateful for that. So if you ask me the question, what am I grateful for this year? I'm grateful for the fact that I fought till I couldn't fight anymore, and it was hurtful. It was hard. I'm grateful for the fact that God told me to lay down and bleed a while. He told me to practice the pause and evaluate my process. I'm grateful for the fact that I do have a process, in that God sent me to the valley in what was, in essence, the first chapter of my life. And why would God do that? Why? Because He's saying, listen, there is another assignment, there is another journey, and I don't want you to get stuck in the hurt, in the foolishness, in the pain of the first journey. So I'm going to send you here, but I need you to practice the pause now, reflect, evaluate the process. Why? Because there's a second journey. And that's when you're going to get up and fight some more. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for people who get it, who get my pattern. And that's one thing. If you're in my life, I will explain my pattern to you. This is how I roll. This is how I process things. And I'm grateful for those that I've been open and honest with my pattern, and they have stuck to it. And they have built friendship, relationship according to my pattern, not their own. Those that have understood that I've got to be true to myself first. Yeah. Because being true to myself is being true to God, who God called me to be. So I and the Father, we are one. We are one. So it's been a phenomenal year, and I'm grateful. The new year has not even begun yet, but with the overflow that is happening in 2019, it's already started. So things will be different, and I'll be on the road a lot. And when I'm home, I will be by myself, and I will be with God. So I'm not going to be by myself. God the Father, and God the Son, and God the Holy Ghost. But I'll be doing a lot of work. I've got a lot of reading to do this year. So, yeah. 2018 has been one heck of a ride. Like a little bit between like Forrest Whitaker's eye and Donald Trump's hair. Like that's what 2018 looked like. And Oprah Winfrey's money. And Barack Obama's, well, Michelle Obama's favorability rating. Or favorable rating, whatever it's called. That was 2018. All those. In the grace of God. Happy New Year. I love you guys. Talk to you soon. Peace.